The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Hi Rogers, can I ask you something?
Shoot.
What does corruption mean?
Well, summarily, corruption is abuse of public power for personal gain or for the benefit of a group to which one owes allegiance. For example, when a public office is abused by an official accepting or soliciting a bribe. By the way, private people can be corrupt too, like bribing police officers to escape fines.
Okay. So exactly how does that concern me?
Well, do you pay taxes?
I guess, yeah. What does that have to do with this?
Everything. Because those taxes you pay are supposed to facilitate services you use, like water, electricity, roads construction, medicines in hospitals, name it.
Okay, that is much bigger than I thought. But it can be stopped, right?
Well, yes it can, although it may not be as easy as it sounds. And here is the reason why. Corruption roots are grounded in our country's social, political, economic, bureaucratic traditions and policies.
So, what has kept it going this long? I mean, why don't we stop it?
Well, the main reason why it has been here for so long is because institutions are weak, either as a result of poorly defined ethical standards of public service, weak administrative and financial systems, or ineffective watchdog agencies.
What can we do to stop it?
At a national level, we must focus on strengthening the independence and effectiveness of public institutions that fight corruption. At a personal level, we must commit to never giving a bribe.
I promise I'll never give a bribe.
Well, that's a great decision you have made. Me and you now have to spread this message to all our friends. If we all do our part, corruption will be normal.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digital. At first, we hit your gadgets with our state-of-the-art digitalized mobile studio with the debate on the road behind the wheels. Later, we launched our magnificent studios located on Plot 1A, Sewagude Close, Lukulinanga. Voltage on Thursdays, 7 p.m., featuring a youthful panel. Interface with Dr. Kiza Besije every Friday, 12 p.m., with his call to action against injustices. Snap Talk, Saturdays, 6 p.m., with the trio. A must-watch, The Political Dice, Sunday.
Roundi. Okimanyi nga Dr. Kiza Besije alesa amaanyi. Olwofadda bafutoli abateesemu obuvaazi. Oba yo DP eri kuki? Olwojema. Ebyo byonna birindira n'okudda Political Dice ku The Alternative Dig Talk nange Teddy Tenja ewamu ne Farida Bikobere buli lwa Sunday essaawa 2.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Digitalk TV. Would love to wish you the best in your endeavors. Anyways, away from birthday shoutouts, the country continues to look, gloomy to some extent, but also Anderson was actually charged, and today he's going to be appearing before a court. Many people think these things, or these accusations or allegations, are actually things that are attacking him personally because of some of his. Through our website, there are stories there at thealternativeuganda.org. You can find all the particular shows and some of the articles that we've written as Digitalk TV on that particular that are affecting this country, and of course trying to create a better Uganda through these conversations. So tonight or this morning, I have Mr. Filbert Opeitum. He is the CEO for Seed of Attic. You're welcome. I'll start with you, Filbert.
Thank you. Morning to you.
You're welcome. I'm really humbled to have you on the show.
Thank you very much for the host.
I'm privileged. Nshemerirwe.
Yes.
Phionah, did I pronounce it right?
Yeah.
That clarification. Seeds of Article 4.
Yes. Yes, by the names I'm Opeitum Filbert, a Pan-Africanist, a patriot, a nationalist of Uganda. 1995 was amended.
Okay.
And it prescribes, Article 4 specifically prescribes promotion of public awareness of the Constitution. B, by translating the Constitution in all Ugandan languages. That is what specifically, in simple terms, Article 4 says about.
What happened? Because those deliberations and goals have not been met.
So that is the reason why we have decided to bring up ourselves to see that we implement Article 4. All the problems we are looking at in this country derive their problem from Article 4. Because the country, the state specifically, because Article 4, the Constitution being the supreme law of the country,
yes,
gives that responsibility to the state. But the state has decided to put it aside.
Okay.
When you look at Article 4 specifically, when you look at educational institutions, we have very many educational institutions in Uganda. I believe it starts from nursery. If we are to look at an educational institution, nursery, primary, secondary, and then other institutions. Yeah. But the reason why that idea came into me was that problem.
Exactly. There are even legends that are even greater than you who have not even seen it in the years they have been in this earth.
And we pretend,
Law called the 1995 Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. I didn't know that up to when I joined law school. I'm in my 4th year now. I'm a law student at one of the leading private universities. In Uganda, we have mob languages. So you won't translate the you won't just, publish Luganda Constitution. You find out that you have the, but he who owns the burden must.
Exactly.
So if you want the country to develop, but then the constitution or the law that is governing the country is in the language that the lay people can't comprehend.
My other question would be, there is a narrative or a sentiment that this is deliberate. They're not interpreting these things. It's not because government has forgotten,
Yes.
but it's something deliberate. It's a plan that...
Wake up one day and be like, I'm going to translate the constitution into Ugandan languages. There is a way these things, the procedure, the process, these things, I lecture them in English because it's our official language.
Okay.
Yes.
No problem. I'll come to you and maybe ask you what are those things you're doing, because you've hinted on maybe lecturing them.
Yes.
But Filbert, what do you think about this?
That we have to promote public awareness of the Constitution and all other laws governing this country. The reason why maybe our brother Braro has been now is going to be in court today,
yes,
is maybe because he never knew. It is the ignorance of the law. So therefore,
or maybe some people are using the law to malign other people.
Even me sometimes I used to think like that. When, as a person who loves the country,
yes,
I sat down one time and looked at all this. First of all, I looked at the Constitution. I looked at very many laws enacted in. But as we are talking right now, if you interpret that provision very well, we don't have that right.
No, I thought you go and get some signatory.
But not a multi-party system. So that is why you see those gentlemen and ladies are doing whatever they are doing, which is not in the interest of the people, but in their personal interest.
People are
because
tired of
that.
Parliament.
So,
but people are tired, and I want to just comment on this.
Yes.
People are tired of Parliament, and some people have a sentiment that we should just do away with it.
Even me, one time I thought of that, but there is no way we are going to do away with one of the arms of government, which, those arms of government, the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature, are like cooking stones. Without one, there is no way you're going to prepare the food. Therefore, there is no way you're going to govern Uganda as a country. So there is no way we are going to say that we should do away.
I mean governed for 9 years.
Amin governed for 9 years, yes. But because Amin was a patriot, he loved this country. That is how he managed. But now we have the government in power, which, in my own opinion, I think I can tell you about it.
Okay, no problem. Watching the Night Show. My name is Edgar Mathew Karuhanga. Shout out to Franklin Gooding. You're watching from San Francisco. Thank you so much for watching. I'm seeing your deliberate breaking of the law. For example, I'm going to give you cases. Legislators are released by court. They are rearrested by people we do not know, and it is business as usual. Like people just disrespect.
The problem is one. Majority of the citizens of this country are ignorant of the law. Even those people who are implementing the law themselves, they are ignorant. That is the problem. That is where the problem is there. That is where it starts from. So there is no way you're going to blame a person who doesn't know even what is
What
doing.
is the thin line between impunity and ignorance? Because now I'm looking, someone may use it as an ignorant issue, but yet actually they know, but they're trying just...
We are the ones who pay them. They are like our employees.
They are our employees.
They are our employees, yes. But of course we don't know that.
We think they are our bosses.
Yes, we think.
Okay, let me say that they are like twins. The state uses the law to oppress the lower class, you get. So let's take the state to be those people that use and overthrow the upper class to gain their rights and remove capitalism to bring communism or socialism according to
whatever they believe in, they can for years. And don't you think it's something feasible we can look into as a people?
Yes, sometimes it's good to dream, but implementing that dream is hard. We can dream to have the law like that of US overthrows the government. It will come with its own law, and it will use that law to oppress the people. So it's upon you, the lower class, to know your rights and fight for your rights. And there is no way you can know your rights or fight for your rights.
Okay, but to what extent do you have the right to enjoy your rights? Because I've heard that even your rights can be limited to some point. Do you want to paint a picture of some of the rights and their limitations? Where do I stop?
Provide for the same and limit our freedom. Because if you're to give unlimited freedom or rights to people, everyone is going to suffer because of someone is enjoying his laws, you get. So there is no one going to brief out like you have a freedom of expression but enjoy it like this and this. You have to go ahead and read the law that do not do this, do not, you know, maybe air out someone's voice without his or her consent. You get.
Okay, so all that comes from civic awareness as a person. That is Phionah Nshemerirwe, the Director of Legal Affairs at...
We have a right to a fair hearing. It is not supposed to be limited anyhow. And under that right, when you read Article 28, it gives how a right to a fair hearing is enjoyed. Like if you commit any criminal offense and you have been convicted by the highest court of Uganda, that is the Supreme Court, your life can be ended as long as it is in a legal manner. Yes, to this extent, we shall be enjoying our rights because we know them. But if you don't know, you are going to step on someone's foot and that person is going to cry and the government comes for you.
Exactly. Thank you so much. I used to enjoy that word, nandirogebo. It felt like literally every sphere of our country. You'll find military, I don't know what, constructing a road, building buildings, constructing schools, teaching. Why is it that
seed and it developed up to where we are? It was done by Obote. When Obote attacked the Kabaka's palace,
1966.
Yes, that is when that seed never wanted to hide it. But for today, it is intelligent, the use of the mind to use it. It is military. Now, when you look at the way things are going, the way things are running, even time is going to come, if you're not a soldier, you're not going to work under government if you're not a soldier. So
sure?
Yes, if your mind is looking beyond 10 years from now, if you're not a soldier.
Yeah, because right now there's a ministry I know and I won't mention, but literally everybody is kind of affiliated to a security organization, starting from the minister, the state minister, the permanent secretary. Most of the people there are all.
So that is why we, as the people who love this country, have come up with seeds of Article 4 to tell people that your power is being taken deliberately.
What's the harm in that? Because one can say North Korea has thrived.
Yes, yes.
Over time,
Yes.
same system.
No, the harm in that is that these people, whom we take as our employees, everything they are doing thinking about themselves and their families. They are not looking at the country as a whole. And even if you look at Uganda right now, Uganda, to my own opinion, Uganda is not like a country. It is like a continent of its own. That one will be of another day.
No, you can please highlight on it in just a minute.
Okay, in just a second.
How is it? Continent really?
So, like for my case, I've tried to move from from where I come from to other parts of the country. There is a time I was in Karamoja and I couldn't take water because I couldn't manage to speak to their language. You see, if we don't have a national language, there is no way you're going to say that this is a country. Like we are in Uganda right now. Majority of the people in Uganda must know how to speak Luganda. And even those people who have never moved out of Buganda think that Buganda is Uganda. Even those ones who have never moved from Karamoja know that Karamoja is Uganda. So tell me, each state governs its own. They don't know, they know that this is Uganda. So that is where the problem is. That we have first to fight for unity. We have to look at ourselves as Ugandans, not as the Baganda, the Ankole, the Karamojo, the Mutoro. Now you see, that is the problem.
Let me ask Nshemerirwe about that. There's a politics of identity that has been entrenched in our system over time. And you feel, and I'm going to use the last election as a litmus test. You see that Buganda supported the Muganda candidate.
Okay.
When he went,
for example, if you go to some companies, media houses, you find coordination between different tribes. Let's take that. Let's just take out that fact. It's because he's not supporting the person that I'm supporting. That is cheap politics. Yes, and it has been in Uganda. If you are to look at that. The past election, to wake up and see that the people we are fighting for or the people we are dying for actually don't remember us when they get to those seats. I can't just wake up in the morning and we have that, you know, let's not have that ideology and look at the president as the government. You get, if the military have the right or have the responsibility.
They say reasonable force, but this
yes, reasonable force.
I don't know how we can quantify reasonable.
Can we? If we don't know how they are called.
Some should. Or you are looking at the small ones, but some should. Just to conclude your point. Please.
But even these strikers are very violent. Me, I don't say.
And that's me. And because I'm going to give you a case in point, there is a young lady, I'm forgetting her name, last week.
Yes.
She was arrested. One person, she went and was just protesting against the Speaker of Parliament, carrying her placard. So why would you arrest such a...
Herself doesn't know the law. She has not appreciated the law. The state, and which is defending the peaceful demonstration. It is my personal opinion that there are very many reasons why I'm saying so. I've not just come out because I want her to resign. I've not come to throw anyone. And why do you arrest me?
I feel you, sir.
So the problem has been the problem of ignorance of that.
Yes. Then how do we create accountability? Because now we have realized that whatever you're saying is true. And by the way, the beauty about Uganda is that the problem has never been the laws.
Yes.
The laws are good. Yeah. They are there. But exactly.
But the problem, we, the owners of the constitution, don't know that we have the best constitutions in the world.
It was amended, so I don't think it's
right now, of course, there is no way we are going to make it again the best constitution in the world. So therefore, first of all, let's identify the problem and look for the solution of that problem. The problem is the ignorance of the law in this country. So the provisions of the constitution. And tell them that, yes, we are saying that we have the supreme law, which is the constitution. But there are these problems here. How can we solve it?
On the protest in Kenya, what do these Kenyans have? First of all, that protest was led by young children.
Yes.
Gen Zs, that's how they call them in this generation.
Generation
young kids,
Z, yes.
And they went to the street.
He knows his rights. That is 2. He knows his powers. That is 3. He can do whatever he wants as long as he has decided. There is nothing which can't be done in anywhere, in whatever place in the world. There is not.
Of course.
That is the only problem here is that, first of all, us, whenever we show that we know something, and we want to show it to the people, the first thing the state does is to intimidate you so that you fold your hands. And Marcus Garvey one time said that less let's give up this idea of folding our hands like this and leave God to do everything for us. If God had intended that, He would have not created us with the brain. So therefore, it is us to come up, to use our brain and see how we can transform this country to the country we want. Children.
Exactly.
The only problem we have in this country, we only think of us and our children.
No,
and
us
it
alone.
stops there.
By the way, this generation of parents is shameless. It thinks about itself
Them alone.
Yeah, but let me come to you, Nshemerirwe. Okay. What do you think about the Kenyan protests in their country?
Okay. The most fabulous thing that I loved about this is that people appreciate and know their law. People know their law. Why? Because it's in the language they understand most. That's the thing that came out, like, drove them to do the things they do.
There is awareness already of the problem.
Yes. But I think that thing can't happen here. Why? Because people don't know their law. They just use it in just the wrong way. They think what they have in their heads, it's what being done, I must go to the streets. That's not the way. But those people did what they did because they appreciated their law. Though the way they protested and went on the streets, but in a establishment or in publication, they are there. But people don't know their laws and don't appreciate their laws. Some don't know how to read English.
Exactly.
And appreciation of the law in Uganda, it's driving us crazy. And the other side in Kenya, people appreciate the law and it drove them crazy in their way.
In their own way.
Yeah.
And maybe to comment on themselves, to make sure that our brothers and sisters who cannot read English and understand can be translated into their languages. We are praying to this country. This is going to do us the next coming time, not today, maybe tomorrow, but any time.
Okay, no problem. By the way, what you say is actually right, and for affecting other people's lives. But just paint a picture of the things that you have done as Seeds of Article, because we're coming to the end of this conversation. As Seeds of Article 4, where is your track record? What have you done so far? You've also highlighted on a few things, but you can be more intentional about highlighting the
Constitution.
Yeah.
So we try to share the copies of the Constitution with some of our colleagues in school, and we went to secondary schools because our main aim is to look at secondary school going students. We distributed some copies of the Constitution to some secondary schools. And our aim is to distribute the copies of the Constitution to secondary schools, lecture them, teach them the Constitution, establish constitutional clubs in secondary schools and other schools, other learning institutions, and also use social media platforms, specifically social media platforms, to preach, to promote public awareness of the Constitution and other laws. Like when you talk about corruption in this country, the Anti-Corruption Act of 2009 has dealt with that problem very well. But the problem is the implementers and the people who are also doing it don't know anything about it. That is where the problem is. So we have identified the problem. We are not supposed to stop there. We are supposed to get involved in transforming this country by doing anything you do. Edgar, right now, whatever you're doing it not only for you, but for the whole country.
Okay. Thank you. Give us your parting shots as we conclude this discussion.
My?
Parting shots, your last remarks.
My last remarks is that, first of all, I appreciate Digitalk, Alternative Drive, for giving us this opportunity to share our views concerning this country. And also, anyone who wants to reach us, we appreciate and we welcome, and we share more. If you want to reach Seeds of Article 4, you can reach to me or to Phionah. You can call me using my telephone codes 0785 237588 or 0744 215268.
Okay.
the three arms of government. That is specifically the judiciary, followed by the legislature,
Yes, sir.
and then the executives. Let's not think of ourselves only, but let's think of the next generations to come. We are going to leave this country. Some people are not going to live more than 40 years from now. Maybe some of us.
Some of us will live even more than 60.
No. But
Okay.
think about the next other generations which are going to come before you, after you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Filbert. Phionah, your last remarks.
Okay, I appreciate for this opportunity, and I call upon people to appreciate, to get, okay, even when you're not a lawyer or you don't want to be one, but it's like now you're right to know your laws, to know the laws that are driving you in this country, starting with the Constitution, which is the supreme law, and get to know other laws. For example, a defense that I didn't know that this was constituting a crime. Yes, and as citizens of Article 4, we are therefore here like as to be a good pillar. Don't use the law to oppress other people. And when you know the law and you find someone that is ignorant, just feel pity and, maybe lecture him or her and tell him to get away. If you're on TikTok to watch comedy, therefore, for us, if I don't love comedy, I will say you're wasting time. But if you're learning from comedy, it's not wastage of time. So how you
with purpose? Some people just but because we have a few minutes, what do you guys do? I want to pick you. What is something that you enjoy to do in your time, relaxation time? Do you even have that relaxation? And I was going to guess, but continue because
yes.
I know a few of those.
I have role models, the people I want to be like them, the likes of Nkwame Nkrumah, Malcolm X, King Jr.
Man.
Recently I lost my role model. That was John Pombe Magufuli of Tanzania.
Oh, sorry.
I have a role model who is still living.
New people and interacting with new faces. I love making new friends. I love talking about, and it makes me happy when I find someone when he or she doesn't know about
you students for whatever you're doing, right? It's exactly 9 p.m. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Edgar Mathew Karuhanga. I have been with this gentleman, Filbert Opeitum. He is the CEO. Follow me personally. That is at Edgar M. Karuhanga on Facebook. You can also put in Edgar M. Karuhanga on X. You'll be able to get me there. Those are the only two social media platforms I am at.
With the debate on the road behind the wheels. Later, we launched our magnificent studios located on Plot 1A, Sewagude Close, Lukulinanganda, Machindye, Kampala, where we bring to you our must-watch shows like The Mighty Drive, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. Hotline, Mondays, 7 p.m. As for legal matters, Twins Bar, Tuesdays, 11 a.m. Wednesdays, 6 p.m. is Afro-Caribbean Link, where we connect Africa with the Caribbean. Voltage on Thursdays, 7 p.m. featuring a youthful panel. Interface with Dr. Kiza Besije every Friday, 12 p.m. with his call to action against injustices. Snap Talk, Saturdays, 6 p.m. with the trio. A must-watch, The Political Dice, Sundays, 8 p.m. with the duo that never stammers, and so much more.